Hello everyone, let's learn about the effect of heat on the three states of matter. And to do that, we need to first find out what happens to the particles in a solid, liquid or gas when we apply heat to them. Let's take a look at particles in a solid. The particles in a solid are vibrating constantly, they are packed close to one another, and they are fixed in a position. They are unable to move out of their fixed position. When you heat it up, the particles are going to gain heat and vibrate more vigorously. What's going to happen is that these particles with their more vigorous vibration, they are going to push their neighboring particles further apart, and this result in the spacing between the particles to be further compared to before, and the solid is expanded. So when a solid is heated, it expands. Do note that the solid has expanded, but the particles' size did not expand, it remains the same. So if the particles did not expand, why did the solid become bigger? Well, it is because when they vibrate more vigorously, they push their neighboring particles further apart, and the spacing between the particles have increased. And this caused the whole solid to become bigger than before, and its volume increased, and we say it has expanded. Let's take a look at the effects of heat on solid liquids and gases. Solid particles are fixed in their position, so when you heat them up, they can only move slightly apart. But for liquid, the particles are free to move around one another, so when you heat it up, they are able to move further apart compared to solid. For gases, their movement is random and high speed, so when you heat it up, they are able to move very far from one another, and hence they expand the most. It is important to remember that when you heat something up or cool something down, the size of the particles do not change. Only the spacing between the particles change. In summary, solid liquids and gases expand when heated because of the increased movement of their particles. This will cause an increase in distance between the particles. Whereas when you cool it down, they will contract because of the decreased movement of the particles. This causes the particles to come closer together. Because it is harder to move solid particles apart compared to gases, temperature changes will affect the volume of solid the least and the volume of gases the most. When heated, solid expands just a little, followed by liquid, and gases expand the most when you heat it up.